So welcome. In welcoming, there is love. Because in welcoming, there are no conditions. In welcoming, you are also welcomed. Whichever way life appears to you. We bring the love. It is in bringing the love that we receive it. Being with oneself and with others in the depth of humility. And gratitude. That we are somehow allowed to give, to share, to be. A loving presence. Which nourishes everybody in one way or the other. We don't need to know. We are like the links in the chain. And also we are the entire chain. Because in every facet of the diamond, the pure light is reflected. It's one diamond in so many facets. Within us, all the facets of the diamond are present. The kindness, the wisdom, our capacity to listen, and our love, our allowing, meaning being non-judgmental, being this availability, we may appear to be many. That's just what we perceive via our interpretation. But in our correct vision, we are one. The correct vision perceives the heart, the invisible beingness which we are. When we meet each other heart to heart, we recognize each other as the same. And in this recognition, there is synergy. We are not together because we are in the same village or the same room, the same house. It's much deeper than that. We are together as this loving presence. Open arms, open heart. So we bring this understanding in our life. we live this understanding. By remaining true to that which is real. In your experience, the reality of awareness, the reality of being is your reality. Rather than being a imagined and perceived object, struggling. We come to the understanding about the reality of awareness, which heals all wounds. What we love in each other is to be recognized for what we truly are. It's that recognition that we love. Which is seeing through the heart. Not getting deluded by the veils, by the forms, by the images and the shapes. But the true perception is a heart perception. And we are that. Beyond all forms, beyond all thoughts and memories and images and perceptions and sensations. We are the reality of being. Which may manifest as a human being or animal being or vegetal being. Mental being. So via our understanding, we close the link effortlessly. We heal oneself and others. And this healing returns us to our true nature. Which is the ocean of love. And the ease of being. The absence of worries and concerns. The laughter. The compassion. To be with each other in a loving way, supportive way. It requires a certain transparency. Free from baggage. There may be baggage at the level of the body-mind, but we recognize the many dents in the body, in the mind. It's inevitable, isn't it, in life? We bump against all sorts of things. But to fall into the arms of God. The arms of God never abandoned us. It's impossible. We are embraced. We are soaked and soaking in God's grace. The misery and the sense of separation is simply a bubble. So we pop this bubble because we don't navigate the path of unhappiness. We remain on the true path, which is the path of love. Availability. The uncertainty. The freedom that there is in being uncertain. The availability that is available in the uncertainty. The openness. So if you would like to explore any question or share anything you would like to say or speak or explore, please make sure to unmute your mic. Any questions?
Magdi, I would like just to describe an experience that I had today.
Yes.
I went to have a cardiac ultrasound because there was kind of a problem in my heart or something like that. They were not sure. So I went there and just lied on the bed and just took my shirt off, and they put the gel on my chest and then the probe, and I could clearly hear the heart as she moved the probe. I could, because I'm kind of doing it with animals as well, I recognized the noise of the Doppler, and I could hear the movement, the flow of the heart through the valves as she moved the probe. And at some stage, it was a little bit uncomfortable, not physically, but kind of hearing the heart, the body in such a way was not scary, but there was kind of a bit of fear there. And I remember that I kind of almost tried to face this kind of discomfort of hearing this, saying kind of very quietly, I am. And then almost within seconds, there was some feeling of, feeling is not the right word. It was as if the fear and the worry were just floating there. There was the sound of the blood flowing through the valves, and there was a little bit of turmoil, but there was also a sense of peace at the same time. And I could not name it as I or am or awareness or anything, just a sense, the nearest I can say, it was a nameless reality, a nameless vastness that goes beyond everything, and in which all of this manifest, the body, the heart, the residual feeling. And after it was finished, I went out and met my wife, and we strolled near the Thames in London. There was a lot of people, but the sense of this reality didn't leave me. It was just kind of with me. It was so transparent, and I was just appearing in it. And there was a lot of love there, a lot of kindness, understanding, listening to my wife, looking in her eyes. It was kind of almost on a completely different level. And although there were things coming and going, you know, walking, feeling tired a little bit, enjoying food, but it was married to this nameless reality that was almost embracing, like you said. It's almost infinite grace. This is the nearest I can say, but it was completely no name. It was not called awareness. It was called consciousness. There was nothing. It was just like a reality, kind of different. I just wanted to ask because sometimes in the past I used to almost try to evoke a presence, but I always felt there was a doing in it, a little bit of doing in it. And this kind of almost came out of nothing. And it was like a revelation. That's all I can say. And there was absolutely no trying to do anything. It was just there, completely vast beyond anything that can be described in words.
Yes.
And I felt it was almost like a turning point because I was trying so many years and years on the path. And it was almost a gratitude to be able to recognize this vastness, this reality. And all the other attempts were just looking as attempts. They were just not touching anything or touching something, but and it was, yeah, I felt it was a turning point.
Yes. You know, Nathan, we use the words awareness, consciousness, borderless presence, God, to describe that which is beyond words. What you're just speaking about is beyond words. So in the words, they have a purpose, of course, you know, a pedagogical purpose and a purpose to communicate and share. And what you describe, which is, of course, beyond description, in fact, is our most common experience. Albeit it's veiled by images, beliefs, notions that things should be this way, things should be that way, or I am this, he is that, she is this, veiled. But there are no images that can appear without the screen. Like you were describing, walking, feeling tired, having a snack, or within that wholeness that's undisturbed, that's beyond words, beyond description. Somehow it's overlooked, you know, and we effort, the process of efforting always refers to a subject and an object. Somehow there is a subtle self-definition. I define myself as whatever, an unenlightened being, or whatever, a truth lover. And then I'm on the path towards something. So that's this dualistic model is used in Advaita. It's used, we speak of Turiya, the state beyond all states. We speak of that, which we just mentioned. It has its place, but it's only as a tool, a temporary tool to sort of move from one spot to the other. as a way of speaking, because in fact there are no spots, no movement from any place to any place. As your experience would describe, would attest, would demonstrate beyond any doubt that there is no movement from any place to any place. Maybe there's an impression of the bodies coming and going, images are coming and going. In your direct experience of that which you described, there is no coming and going. It's just when we come to words, we say the bliss of being, the peace of being, the formless self, whatever. We use words that can allude to that which is beyond words. So it is often said in the teaching that what we are seeking is already what we are, that we are soaking and soaked in the ocean and we're looking for water. We're at the heart of the cosmos and we're looking for the cosmos. So when we let go, when we sort of surrender or notice the resistances, noticing the effort and relaxing that, relaxing it, both mentally and within the body, so that the body becomes less and less form, less and less a physical form, returns to its essential nature of formless awareness. It's sort of a process of noticing how we define, we project, we formulate ourselves, we formulate the world, we formulate a narrative about so many things. And above all, we start with the narrative about myself, that I'm a man, I'm a person, I'm this, I'm that, which is completely contrary to the experience you described, because in the experience you described, there is no male, female, big, tall, healthy, unhealthy. Yeah, that may be referred to the body, may refer to perceptions, but doesn't refer to that direct knowingness of oneself. So in the knowingness of oneself, there is just no forms, it's just a knowingness. This knowingness is, one could say, is experienced as peace, as love, as freedom, as joy, as there are nothing that is impacted or nothing that is at stake. I mean, of course, there is the body, we take care of the body as best we can, as long as we can, like we do with our car, with our house, our garden. But in this self-knowingness, this experience that is beyond words, that is beyond language, there is no doubt that a body is not that which I am, or I am not a particular mind or a particular set of sensations. So we sometimes say it's an experience of wholeness, of totality, of infinity, of beingness. Yeah, of course, these are also words, but they point in that direction. Oh, yes. So that's a direct revelation of your true nature from itself to itself. And you are that You are the heart of all of it. You are all of it. You are it. That which you are is not a Nathan, but you are that. You are that which is beyond description, which somehow you put some words around it, which is beautiful words. In the realm of reality, as a way of speaking, there is no separation. There are no issues, there are no problems. There isn't like, oh, heck, all is well, but there are problems in the world. Or all is well, but there are problems in the body. No. There are no actual separation, nothing that's actually separate. Nothing that is apart from that. So we say the form is formless and form is formlessness and formlessness is form. I think in the Buddhist tradition, they chant the Heart Sutra. So that there are no divisions within our mind about, yes, but. There is no yes, but. There's just yes. I'm reminded of the story of this Zen monk, in old-time China. There was this young girl who got pregnant in the village. And so they accused the monk of being the father. So they say, oh, you're the one who impregnated this young girl. So he says, is that so? Is that so? And then later on they bring him the baby, and so now he's taking care of the baby in his hut. And a few years later, the villagers come to him and say, oh, no, you're not the father. We found that the father is such and such and such a fellow. And he replied, oh, is that so? As he was handing the baby, I guess, back to the mom and dad, Effort is not the way. Now, there can be an effort that arises out of your love, like you may love to do long distance running, and so you exert a lot of effort for the body, but you're doing it seemingly it is an effort, but because you are doing what you want to do, what you love to do, it's not effort in that sense. So if you have a love for whatever it is, then there's no effort in the love. But there is a different type of effort, which is which comes from the sense of lack or the sense of separation or the sense of insufficiency. And so that we exert an effort while maintaining the sense of separation. This effort feeds into the sense of separation. It doesn't bring clarity and peace. It doesn't bring joy. So there's a joyful effort. I remember the story of, I think, what's the name, this patriarch, there are Zen patriarch, there are paintings of him with the broom in his hand. I forgot I forgot his name. He lived in a monastery. His job was sweeping. One day was sweeping, they sweep the yard, and there was a pebble. And he was sweeping the pebble, and the pebble hit the bamboo. When it hit the bamboo, it produced that sound. And upon hearing that sound, all his veils of personal identification dropped, and he found himself like in this infinite being, this the direct experience of that which beyond mind, beyond words, beyond concepts. He wrote a poem. I forgot, some kind of poem. Maybe I'll look it up in one of those books I have in my library about that. Yeah, it's just understanding, and insights come in mysterious ways. There are insights like the one you just described, or like the one I just described in the anecdote about the monk. But there are also numerous insights that are seemingly less noticeable, seemingly more banal, but yet they pertain to the same understanding. Many insights we don't even know that, don't even notice the insight. But nonetheless, there are insights that pertain to the same understanding. So there is sometimes like a rose is sort of like still not bloomed, and suddenly it blooms. And when it just suddenly blooms, there's this scarlet red color. Wow. But then it very gently, almost unnoticeably, it blooms even in a more magical way. So yes, there are glimpses in our being, in our essential nature, that are like the sudden blooming. And there is also the ongoing blooming. And this ongoing blooming is via our continued inquiry, and also via living. according to that understanding, according to the understanding of one consciousness, one reality.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions? Questions?
Magdi.
Hello, Mina.
Hello. I would like to ask, I was listening about Nisargadatta, what he said, the I am is the doorway to, it's like the doorway to the world and also the doorway back. And he tells to hold on to the I am. And there comes even a moment or a state where also the I am disappears and that we are prior to this I am. And I try to, yes, could you say something about?
Yes. So the path starts from the I am somebody. I am a man, I'm a woman, father, mother, rich, poor, blah, blah. So this is a path of personal identification, the path of the individual. And from that perspective, the I am is a specific entity which exists in time and space. There's a world. The I is separate from the world, and this I, the individual, has a mind. So there is the individual with the mind and the external world. So we start from that, what we refer to as the sense of separation. And as we are searching for peace and happiness, at some point we realize that we need to look at this belief. We need to look at the I am. We cannot find it in relationships. We cannot find it in the world. We cannot find it in the mind, in experiences, in mind states. So we turn our attention to the I am. Which brings us to the sort of the second phase of the path, which is the path of the recognition. So we recognize consciousness. Recognize, oh, I am is not an individual. I am is consciousness, awareness. In this I am awareness, I am consciousness, there is still a world. I am aware of the world. There is a mind, I am aware of the mind. So in a way, I am the perceiver of the world and of the mind. I know myself to be consciousness. But there is still the separation between the consciousness and the world, the body and the mind. The third phase of the path is the path of union, the path of love, the path of merging, which is the recognition that this consciousness that I am is the reality, the one reality, not just a reality of awareness, but also the reality of the world, the reality of the body, the reality of the mind. And that there is one reality. So then the I am, the I which is consciousness, in all cases I am. First I am an individual, secondly I am consciousness, and finally I am. In the final I am, there is no more, there is no world, no body, no mind, there's just the I am. Just the I am that takes on the form of this conversation, takes on the form of breath, takes on the form of body, mind. In the final I am, there are no distinctions between enlightened and unenlightened. There are no distinctions between this and that. It's all one reality, one being. Now, in some of the interpretations of Nisargadatta's readings, some people speak about something beyond the oneness, beyond the one reality. So whatever it is that's beyond the one reality, either could be real or could be illusory. Obviously, it must be real, because if it's illusory, then there is nothing beyond, right? It has to be real, right? If whatever is beyond the reality of consciousness is real, then we're talking about a reality which is beyond the reality of consciousness. And if that is the case, then we're speaking about two realities. So, in some interpretations of Nisargadatta's teaching, some people say that the merging of consciousness into its universality, that is a mind state. If it is a mind state, then there is still the sense of separation, because a mind state exists in time and space. Any mind state exists in time and space. And so therefore, if it is a mind state and it occurs in time and space, it has a beginning and an ending. Whatever has a beginning and an ending is not real, because reality has no beginning and ending. And therefore it is experienced as a state. And whenever you experience a state, You experience happiness and unhappiness. You experience the state and the end of the state, the beginning of the state, the end of the state. If you are still experiencing a beginning of a state and ending of the state, then you are not talking about the one consciousness being the one reality and the reality of everything. You are still speaking about the second phase of the journey, where you know your consciousness, but you're still experiencing a world out there. So because you're still experiencing a world out there, and the mind out there, and the reality out there, besides the reality of consciousness, you still experience moments of recognition of happiness, and then moments where the world is not acting according to how, it's not fitting your agenda. Because when there is a sense of separation, there is an impact. A is impacted upon B, because there are two. They may not impact for a while, but sooner or later, they will impact. So there is a misunderstanding about the readings in Nisargadatta. I encourage people not to study Nisargadatta for a couple of reasons. First, Nisargadatta is dead. You can't ask him to clarify what he wanted to, what he meant. Secondly, he spoke in some dialect, Indian dialect, and it was translated by a couple of people. And translators, they have their flaws. And also, Nisargadatta did not carry an even language throughout his teaching. Sometimes he would speak of I am as being the absolute. Other times he would speak about I am in a relative sense, that there is something beyond the I am. He wasn't consistent in his usage of the term I am. So let's put it this way, beyond causeless peace and happiness, there is no beyond. Beyond causeless peace and happiness, meaning peace and happiness that has nothing to do with the world, with the planets, with the galaxies, with the weather, with global warming, with COVID, with our partner, with our children, with our body. Causeless peace and happiness. Beyond causeless peace and happiness, there is nothing that I know of. If somebody has some insight into something beyond causeless peace and happiness, they're welcome to share it with me. Now, to say that there is a reality beyond I am is just talk for me. Depends what you mean by I am, I could say, yeah, well, clarify what you mean by I am. What do you mean by I am? If by I am you mean I am somebody, of course there is beyond I am somebody. We all know that which is beyond somebody is that which perceives the I am somebody. The thought I am somebody, the feeling I am somebody, the belief I am somebody is perceived. So whatever it is that is beyond the I am somebody is consciousness, that which perceives. We call it consciousness. You can call it reality. I like the term reality. Because reality, you cannot mess with it. It's absolute. You cannot say, well, it's reality, but not during the solstice, or it's reality, but it's unreality during 3 seasons, but the 4th season is not real. No, reality is absolute. So I like the term reality. There is one reality. And we don't need to be philosophical about it. You can call it any anything you want. You can call it matter if you want. You can call it anything you want. It's one reality. And what is this one reality? Where are we going to go to get the answer to this question? We're not going to go to Nisargadatta or to Ramana Maharshi or to any sage. We're going to go directly to our experience right now. We look at what is the reality right now. What is reality right now? Reality is not my son, my daughter, my father, my government, my priest, my body, my toe, my bank account, my car, my house, my feeling. Which leaves us beyond phenomena. Reality, beyond phenomena. Right here, right now, there is a reality. What is it? We come face to face with awareness, consciousness. It's very clear to us that this awareness it's absolute. There is a reality of awareness. And there is the world, perceptions, the stable, which is an experience of sound and sensation. And this table has a reality. What is the reality of the table? It is that one reality, the reality of consciousness. We know that in 1,000 years, this table will be gone. I don't know what will happen to it. But we know that consciousness in 1,000 years, what's 1,000 years for consciousness? Sometimes we say it's amazing, like where did the past 10 years go, right? We say, oh my God, yesterday I was 40, today I'm 50. It's like, where did those 10 years go? For consciousness, there is no time. There's no time. Are you kidding? 10 years? What's 10 years? It's a mind counting January, February, 2001, 2002. Oh, let's have a New Year celebration, fireworks. Oh, I remember 1998, the fireworks in Rome. Oh, it was so beautiful. Just mind. In consciousness, there is no time. This is why we are beyond time. We don't exist in time. We're not in time. Of course, the body is in time. You could see, the hair, the body is in time. The oak tree is in time. The oak tree, the roses, the rose bush, the planets, the galaxies are in time. But I'm not in time. So when you come to that clarity that you are not in time, whether the body is erect or is horizontal, 6 foot under, you're not in time. So we allow this understanding. It's an understanding about our true nature, about our reality. We allow this understanding. So don't get confused. Don't so much about the language, about the stuff you read. If something you read is too, well, no, I mean, it's good you bring up the question. And when it's simple, truth is simple. It's not about words. Words are sounds that are part of this mechanical body-mind computer. The brain, the body-mind, and the vocal cords and air will make sounds. It's obviously not about sounds. It's beyond the sounds. And your experience, that which is beyond the sound is awareness. It's that which is beyond all forms. And yet it's undeniable. And we can verify this in our experience, directly in our experience. So we're not adopting a belief. We can always go to our experience and verify that. Verify the reality of awareness and verify that awareness is we have no evidence or no experience that awareness is arising out of the brain or arising out of the core of the earth, or arising out of the magnetic field. All these are stories. We have no evidence whatsoever of awareness arising. We see a flower arising, or we hear the song of the bird arising, but we have no experience whatsoever, no evidence whatsoever of consciousness arising. We have experience of thoughts arising, images arising, the body, but not of awareness arising. And that's our direct experience. I mean, that's verifiable, right? It's verifiable. So because we can verify it, and we have the evidence. We are the evidence. See what I mean?
Yes.
And of course, it's okay to refer to the body as Magdi, as Mina, mom, dad, or neighbor, or there's no issue whatsoever with that, because there is no separation. There's complete freedom. Freedom, you can be completely free to be a mother, be a sister, be a daughter, or not. Complete freedom. And so, because we realize our freedom and realize the play, so in the world we choose a sweet dance, sweet way, sweet encounter. We choose that. It's our freedom, or not. If we choose ignorance, we are free to choose ignorance. Oh, no. You, I don't like you. You, yeah, I like you. We can choose that, and then we see how it goes. I don't advise it, but it's our freedom. That's why Francis often says we choose ignorance. It's our freedom. We choose ignorance. We choose yes, but. It's not forced upon us.
Yes, beautiful.
And at the body level, we sort of internally, we sort of like relax it. Just let it fall away. We don't hold on, you know. In the body, we don't hold on.
Thank you so much.
Okay, Mina, nice talking with you. Yes.
Thank you.
Any questions?
Hey, Maggie.
Frank, hello, Frank.
Hey, so I am keeping my eye on the road. I'm not gonna.
Yes.
No need to worry. No need to worry.
Okay, good.
So, quick question about. Heard the other day somebody talk about how there needs to be an integration or reintegration back to body mind after you sort of get settled in as consciousness, if you can say it that way. And there was talk about how a lot of people get stuck in that middle place of just being consciousness and not really integrating back into the body or living as the body mind. Sort of like the old thing about, before enlightenment you carry water. I don't know exactly how that goes, but then after enlightenment you carry water, right? That whole idea.
Right.
So is there such a thing as a sort of reintegration back into body mind once you sort of get settled in as I'm not using the right terms, but you know what I mean. Get settled, and once you get sort of a good feeling for being consciousness, is there a time when you need to go back and just say, oh, consciousness, but going back to body mind status, quote unquote. Yeah. And my language here is rough, but I think you know what I mean, right?
I understand. Yes, Frank. So, the short answer to your question is no. You don't go back to the body mind. Rather, the body mind goes to consciousness. Let me clarify what I mean. So there is a misunderstanding that, okay, I am the body, I am the man, I am the brother, I am the father, blah, blah. And I feel that. I feel that's what I am. And I, not just I believe that's what I am, but I also experience that's what I am. I feel that's what I am. And of course, I'm wrapped up into, God, I hope I'm a good father, I hope I'm successful, I hope I'm, the whole 9 yards of misery and unhappiness. And then we realize, okay, I am consciousness. I am consciousness perceiving, I am viewing the world, I'm viewing thoughts, I'm viewing the road, I'm viewing sensations, I'm viewing the breath, I'm viewing the rain, I'm viewing world, body, mind. But I am consciousness. I am not an object. I am not the body. So yes, that's the interim state. So first, the world is the world, the mountains are mountains, rivers are rivers. The second is I am consciousness. The world is not the world is illusory. The rivers are not the rivers are illusory. Reality is consciousness. And the world, body, mind is illusion. And of course, often without a teacher, many people who arrive to this understanding get stuck there. They get stuck and they speak, well, all the world is an illusion, everything is an illusion, it's all mind, only consciousness is real, everything else is mind. And they get stuck in this duality between illusion and reality. Now, the third phase, where mountains are mountains and rivers are rivers again, can be understood in the following way, that the illusion is believing that there is a separate reality from consciousness. But we understood that consciousness is real and that there is no separate reality. The world which appears to us does not have a separate reality. It is real. It is not an illusion. It is real. The illusion is believing that the world has a separate reality from consciousness. The body is not an illusion. Sensations are not an illusion. They're real. The illusion is believing that there is a separate reality called sensation, or a separate reality called the body. The mind, thoughts, images is real. The illusion is believing that there is such a thing as a mind with its own reality, separate from the reality of consciousness. So the final understanding is the understanding that there is one reality. And that the reality of the world, the reality of the body, the reality of the mind, is the reality of consciousness. It is like the reality of the waves, the reality of the currents, is the reality of water. They have a reality. There is a reality to the wave, which is called H2O. There is a reality to ice, which is called H2O. There is a reality to steam, which is called H2O. But these are just words. Experientially, you're no longer experiencing any sense of separation. Yes, you can say, yes, there is a body. Obviously, there is a body. If you stub your toe in the corner of the chair, you're going to know that there are toes, and the toes have to navigate their way around the corner of the chair. Otherwise, you're going to go big time, ouch. Yes, there is, of course, a mind, because there are thoughts that appear, a thought that says, oh, I hate this, I hate that. There is a mind, and if you ignore the mind, you become like totally dumb and deaf. Or if you're completely giving yourself complete reality to the mind, you may believe that the mind is right, and you start hating these people and loving those people, and you will learn that that's still the sense of separation. That's giving reality, a separate reality to the mind. So anyways, the final understanding is that there is one reality. And your experience, and that's really important your experience, your living experience, is no longer a body or a mind or consciousness, or it's beyond words. It is, you're no longer experiencing yourself as any particular self. You're just experiencing just what you're experiencing right now, Frank. You're experiencing what you're experiencing right now. There is no division. There's no separation. So the quotes unquote awakened state is our most common experience. It's not like, oh, wow, you know what? One day, abracadabra, and everything's going to line up for itself, and suddenly you're going to find yourself driving and everything is cool. In fact, you're doing it right now. You've got to go out of your way to say, I just remembered, I'm Frank, I'm inside the car, I'm driving the car. You got to go out. In fact, this car is being driven, whatever you call it. There's no separation. But I get you that me and you, we can get out of our normal state of being, which I was just talking about, and go into, I'm inside the car and I'm driving Mercedes and I'm blah, 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 which is true about the body in a way. It's true about the body, but we're confusing the mind with awareness, the body mind with awareness. Yes, the body mind is whatever, going to shopping or going to visit mom or whatever, yes. Yes, but not to confuse that with consciousness awareness. So in terms of the final understanding that mountains are mountains, rivers are rivers, there is often a misunderstanding. People sometimes say, well, you know what? I was a personal self and I was in agony and misery before. And now I realize I'm consciousness. And you know what? I know that after realizing I'm consciousness, I got to go back to rivers are rivers and mountains are mountains. So I'm going to go back to my misery. I'm going to go back to, oh, well, I'm enlightened, but yeah, I'm unhappy, but it's no big deal. Unhappiness is part of life, is part of enlightenment. Look at this sage, he was drinking, look at him. So we create all sorts of stories that justify being enlightened and unhappy. No, that doesn't compute. Doesn't compute. It is about happiness. It's not some neo-Advaita BS about, well, you know what? Mountains were mountains, then mountains are not mountains, and now mountains are mountains. It's all very beautiful lingo. Okay? The understanding of our true nature, on the other side of the understanding, is peace and happiness, causeless peace and happiness. And meaning the complete absence of sense of separation, which again, Frank, it is our most common experience that is overlooked by the confusion between consciousness and mind. It is your most common experience, your experience right now in every moment of being, pure being. But when we confuse this experience with I'm Frank, and which is the mind, the body mind, then there is a confusion. And it's just a confusion. This confusion doesn't remove the fact that all is one. It just adds an impression, an unhappy impression, I'm sorry to say, an unhappy impression that you are a limited mortal body mind, that you are the mind. And that mind is limited, it's not happy to be limited. I don't know if you got what I was sharing with you, Frank. Okay. Oh, I'm not hearing you, Frank.
Oh, I apologize. Thanks, Magdi. No, that was good. I really appreciated that answer. I have some more things to ask about this, but I'll do it at a future time.
Okay, cool.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
Okay, Frank. Okay, be safe. Okay, nice talking to you. Okay. Any questions? Okay, well, thank you all. Very lovely to be with you. Isaac, nice to see you, Isaac. Nathan.
Thank you.
Thank you, Nathan and Frank. Hola, Maria, nice to see you, Maria.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Magdi.
Okay, lovely. Lisa.
Thank you, Magdi.
George, nice to see you, George. Mina, hello, Mina.
Thank you, Magdi.
Marga, hello, Marga. Shiva, salut Shiva. Holger, Manoj, nice to be with you, Manoj, and Luzak, and John. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye. Good seeing you all.
Thank you for
Bye-bye. See you.